UAC Ultra, try. For some reason the music stopped playing. The music is pretty loud as well. Alright, let's see how this goes. Hopefully it's better than Curse of the Sparrow. I like the gloves. Oh, this looks pretty cool. Oops. We're used to pressing space to open now. Which is a little bit high. And yellow. Oh, that's a pretty cool texture. See the yellow on the door texture. Ah! Kill the Spectre. Alright, so far I'm liking this a lot. Good shit so far. Ooh, custom yellow keycard sprite. That's neat. I like these kind of changes, you know, the gloves, the custom keycards, new textures. It makes Doom feel fresh, but keep the gameplay classic in this case. Hey there, Warman. I think Sigil is amazing. So, I really don't see any of the issues that people have with Sigil. I mean, everyone's free to have their own opinion, but I really do not see what people's problems are with Sigil. I can see some of the minor issues, but I personally loved every bit of Sigil. Yeah, some of the areas are a bit dark in Sigil. But there's a lot of amazing design choices in the WAD, in my opinion. Cramped spacing, I'm totally fine with having limited movement speed. That makes it harder to avoid shots. That's what makes a skillful Doom player, in my opinion. Making use of the limited movement space you have. But that's all subjective, of course. Some players might not enjoy having limited movement space, but for me it's a challenge. It's like, oh, the map challenges me by having limited movement space. Well, I guess if that's something a person doesn't like, then, you know, that's not good for them. Well, I used to be like that in the past, but the more I played Doom, you know, eventually it got easier, and it's like, well, everything's just a big open map. It's so easy to dodge. Or not open map, but an open area, I think, you know, eventually then you can just keep dodging. If you have limited dodging space, that gives me a challenge. And as far as the enemy placement, I had no issue with it at all. Russian overkill, I can see no enjoyment in playing that WAD whatsoever, or that gameplay mod whatsoever. It's funny to, you know, load it up once, for me at least, and see what kind of overpowered guns it has, but I would never consider loading Russian overkill to play any WAD seriously. But honestly, I'm totally fine with weapons provided. And I'm glad that I'm actually glad that there was no SSG in Sigil, because it was a Doom 1 WAD. I also think that Sigil nails the feeling of Episode 5 for Doom. But no, not everyone is like, let's say, can relate to needing vanilla. Oh, there's a requirement for Doom 60 feet for. I'm not sure what you mean with that. I mean, it's a custom WAD, so obviously you're gonna need the original Doom to run it. Well, this was a fun map. Great pacing. Well, I wouldn't compare this to Sigil in any way. Sigil went for a complete different aesthetic. UAC in exile. Oh, I like the transition there. Talking about the original mechanics for the respective WADs that we both like to play. You hate Brutal Doom 64, not a good WAD for me. Well, that's fine. You can like and dislike anything you want. I've never played Brutal Doom 64, so I have no clue how fun it is. But yeah, I think mainly with a WAD, it comes obviously it depends on what kind of WADs people prefer. Some people like certain WADs, other people like different ones. With Doom, it makes the animations look pretty. I sometimes play using Smooth Doom. There's also, I think, some does it add custom sounds? I'm not too sure. I might be confused with some of the other mods I sometimes use. But in general, I like Smooth Doom. But yeah, most complaints I've heard about Sigil are very subjective. If I like think of like all the people I know and watched were negative. One person complained about having to shotgun too many barons. I've only had to shotgun a few barons. Now I am someone who hates grindy gameplay, so if I have to grind too many barons down with a shotgun, I will hate that. But honestly, the amount of barons I've had to kill with a shotgun was very low. Move to more beautiful Doom that has the enemy animations that look like melting ice cream. I think it's Smooth Doom. Because that smooths out everything. I use Beautiful Doom sometimes as well. That one has satisfying weapon sounds. But yeah, I just cannot relate to any problems with having to shotgun barons. And I've complained about some WADs that rely too much on shotgunning barons, but I did not see that problem in any way in Sigil. Now, Sigil has a lot of dark areas, but I think it's all within reasonable limits. I've heard complaints about too many pain sectors in Sigil. There's a few pain sectors, but again, I'm someone who hates too many pain sectors as well, but I didn't have that much of an issue with them. Someone also said there were jump puzzles in Sigil. I've not seen a single jump puzzle, so I don't know what's that about. And yeah, the tight spaces is a purely subjective opinion, having no space. I wonder how people want their encounters to be made difficult. How do you create difficulty in Doom? There's different ways to do that. Yeah, this wall looks pretty decent. I like the Quake textures as well. I'm a big fan of Quake aesthetics. I guess one way of making a lot harder is by making a fuck ton of enemies. Like too many enemies in a room. But that can make the WAD grindy. Another way is to make lots of sniping hit scanners in open areas, which forces the player to get hit a lot, which is one of the shittiest ways, in my opinion, to make a WAD difficult, by abusing hit scanners. Limiting ammo is a way, which was also a complaint I heard from people about Sigil. I was low on ammo a decent amount of times in Sigil, but I never ran out to a point where I couldn't do anything anymore. And the people I've heard complaining about ammo, at least one of them was pistol starting, so it might not be made for pistol starts in mind. But I did not have major issues with ammo. It seemed just right with the ammo, in my opinion. Revenant, Pain Elemental, and Archvile combos. Depends on how the encounter is made. But if you do anything with an arch file in mind that is placed in a way that keeps resurrecting enemies, that makes it grindy as well, and you gotta keep in mind to put enough ammo to deal with the resurrected enemies. But I think one of the better ways to make, this is again my subjective opinion, of course, but I like having, not the whole time in every WAD, but WAD makes their maps hard by giving me limited movement space. I'm like, yeah, as long as it's realistically still, like, look, I have not a lot of movement space, but I can still dodge this Hell Knight's attacks. Now I fucked up there because I didn't go to the right, but I can keep dodging even though I have limited movement space, just estimating when he's gonna attack. See? I need a lot of movement space. Now it gets, of course, a bit trickier when there's multiple enemies in the room. A lot of people complained about the final room in map 1 in Sigil, which had, I think, a Pinky, shotgunner, and a Caco demon in it. And they said that was impossible, but I honestly had no problem with that. I just shot the shotgunner, rushed into the room, killed the Pinky while trying to avoid the Caco blasts. And then all I had to do was just face a Caco. So I just don't see why people are complaining about that. But no, I guess some people really don't like being challenged by having to dodge in a narrow space. Well, I don't think there's anything objectively wrong with it, but it is understandable when someone doesn't enjoy that way of fighting. Everyone has their own play styles. I can remember one area that had that, yeah. There was very limited space where I died, I think, 1 or 2 times, which was also pretty dark. But I've seen way shittier encounters. And in the end, it felt more like I overcame it with skill rather than luck. Like, I died like twice in that one room that I can remember very well, which was like where I was trapped with lots of enemies and almost no space. But it did feel like I had to use a lot of skill to survive. No. Well, then you have my sympathy that you don't find it as enjoyable. And I will obviously respect your opinion. I think if a person says I cannot enjoy Sigil because of the limited movement space, then you have my respect. But I do think it's wrong of some people to say that Sigil plain out sucks just because they don't enjoy it much. I think there's a key difference there between something just not being suited by your style of gameplay and something being objectively bad. Or you've not played it yet, okay. Oakwith's gonna take off, getting sleepy. Alright, man. My bad that heretic WAD made you sleepy. You have a good night of sleep, Oakwith. Hope you have a good start of your weekend. And obviously, thanks for chilling, as always. Like this archvile encounter, for example, is totally fine with me. I get cover, sure he reses some enemies, but I think the most important thing to me with an archvile encounter is you need to have cover. If you don't have any means of cover, there's no way to avoid the archvile. And at that point, I think it becomes objectively unfair. Alright, that's cool, man. I respect that. I think that's a very good approach to not really judge something yet until you've played it yourself. Well, you know, judging by the information you gave about not enjoying limited movement space, then yeah, I can predict that you're probably not going to enjoy it very much. I mean, depends. I'm fine with Revenants in a lot of ways. But chain gunners can be abused very, very quickly, in my opinion. Any kind of hit scanner, I feel. Hit scanners' roles should always be around corners and stuff. Or at least being able to shoot them right away when they appear in a room. So, hit scanners used in open rooms as snipers, I think, are dickish moves. Because they can hit you from far away without you even seeing them. But if they're around the corner, I'm totally fine with hit scanners. So for example, like classic Doom 1, episode 1 has a lot of hit scanners. I'm totally fine with that. Because it's like, oh, you move around the corner and just imagine the chain gunner being around this corner. It's like you move around, you see the chain gunner, you instantly shoot him. It's a different story if I move here, a wall opens behind me with chain gunners, and then they start shooting at me. That's a dick move. But yeah, I've definitely bashed on plenty of WADs that abuse chain gunners and hit scanners. I've played WADs that like teleported, like I move to an area like this, and suddenly, boom, shotgunners getting teleported behind me just to instantly wreck me. I definitely have low tolerance for that. A trap like this is fine. Imps you can always avoid and react to. Yeah. Chain gunners, any kind of hit scanners spawning or appearing behind you, I think is a dick move. Like this, chain gunner to the left. Plenty of cover, taking care of him without getting any damage, so that's absolutely a fine way of a chain gunner. No issues whatsoever. But if I would move over this area and suddenly there would be chain gunners popping up over there, I'd find it a bit more dickish. Well, it's cacos, and you can avoid cacos. Like, the way I look at it is, you should always be able to react properly. Now, projectile-based enemies you can react to because they have a delay. You can hear them, they shoot, and by the time the projectile hits you, you can turn around, see the projectile coming and avoid. But with hit scanners, they instantly hit you. So, in my opinion, when a hit scanner appears, you should always let the player know where the hit scanner is. If a hit scanner gets the chance to hit the player without the player knowing where the hit scanner is, or the player being able to hit the hit scanner reliably, I think, you know, that's what should be the requirement. Player should always be able to see and engage the hit scanner before getting hit by it. But that's the way I see it, at least. Because hit scanners are just... you cannot avoid damage from them unless you use cover. So if hit scanners are used in an open area without cover, and the player... you can just force the player to take damage that way. That's something I am strongly against. Well, it doesn't matter, like, for the direction. It's the fact that a hit scanner does damage to me without me being able to react to it before he damages me. That's the issue. Like, see, I could kill these hit scanners before they damaged me. But it's a different thing when a hit scanner gets to drop on you from a sniping position. Sniping hit scanners are a dick move, I think, and using them as a trap behind you is a dick move as well. But Hell Knights, that's fine to spawn one behind me, because I hear him, turn around, and I evade a shot. I got limited movement space, totally fine with avoiding attacks. Use mods with scope weapons. That's one way to deal with enemies that are sniping at you. But the problem is still that the sniping hit scanner is most likely gonna hit you before you even know they're there. So I usually just bash a wad that uses sniping hit scanners or anything like that. Just, in my opinion, just like abusing hit scanners. Yep. It definitely helps with taking care of them. But it still does not prevent you from taking damage in an unfair way. Like, let me put it this way, like, no amount of skill in a player can stop a chain gunner from damaging you from a sniping position. And I think, like, a skilled player should always be able to stop or evade incoming damage. But with hit scanners, no amount of skill can do that. So you need cover. That's the only way to stop getting damage from a hit scanner. Either that or an invisibility sphere, of course. So again, chain gunners around the corner, totally fine. I managed to like see them and pop back. So in general, it just depends how every enemy is used. Sure, Revenants and Pain Elementals and Archviles and Chain Gunners can all be annoying, but they don't have to be. It just depends on how the mapper sets up the encounter. But I am happy that there's so many WADs out there, that there's plenty of things to find for everyone. That's a good thing. There's so much choice when it comes to Doom WADs. So there's probably always something out there that may satisfy everyone. Which I think is great about Doom. I also love the fact that there's so many gameplay mods out there. I mean, if a person finds normal Doom too hard and, for example, he wants to use Russian Overkill, then I'm happy he has the option to do so. Hell, even if someone wants to play H-Doom, if that's the way he enjoys Doom the most, I won't judge him. You know? It's like, awesome, you found your gameplay mod, even if it's H-Doom. It's awesome if you enjoy that. Good for you, but everyone has their own gameplay mods. So yeah, that's the great thing about Doom. You have so many things to choose from. Now see, this is a bit of a dick move. I reacted quickly to that chain gunner, But I couldn't react to that one, so I was forced to take damage. That's a dick move. This is more of a dickish move. Because there's nothing I could do to avoid damage from the second chain gun, because I can't shoot both directions at the same time. Did I save there? I already saved. I could have like replayed and showed you. That's a plain example of just how to not use... If they would have been imps, that would have worked. But now with chain gunners. Oops, forgot that was an elevator. Damn it. Oh, we're getting the SSG. Stuff's gonna get a lot easier from now. I don't even know if there's any secret maps in this WAD. I'm wondering. Because this WAD was like 11 maps. I think I read in the README. Archfile encounter. A little bit trickier because there's two of them. A little bit of RNG can screw you over. Like that. If they spread out, that's a little bit shittier, see? If there was one vial, that would be fine, but it's hard to sometimes get into cover of both of them. But now they're going together, so now it's doable. But there is a third pillar, so I should have probably used that. But there is cover, that's the most important thing. Oh wow, I'm getting some bad hits on that rev. No, these I wouldn't necessarily call sniping chain gunners. Because I saw a chain gunner and I'm like, oh, quickly gonna go in cover. As long as I can realistically react to it. This was fine because there were lost souls in front of them. Gonna go up. a very slow elevator. Oh, I didn't expect that to go down. I thought it would open the bars. That's Cacowards. Hello, Cacowards. Okay. These switches are a little bit hard to see, but it's fine. That was bad. For a little while. Oh, we're getting a rocket launcher. Good. Guess we need to blow up some the errands. Just wanted to jump in for a second to apologize for the other day. I didn't think you'd get upset. It was all just fun. I didn't mean it in a rude way. I guess it's just how you read it. Well, like Sir Sherwin's trying to make you more upset. Oh, that's okay, Iceman. I didn't take it as you were. I didn't take it in a way that I thought you were trying to make me more upset. I know that your motives are not to make me pissed off. That's okay, but, you know, there's no need to apologize, man. You know, I'm not mad at you or anything. Just, you know, I was salty, I will admit on that. And I hope I didn't come too aggressive to you either, or in any way. You know, I just tried to say it as politely as possible. That, like, if I'm feeling salty, that I don't enjoy very often if people would like react to it in any way like that. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not mad at you or anything, and there's no need to apologize. It's all fine, and you're always welcome here. I see you as a very nice viewer and part of the community. And I'm gonna die because I need to focus a little bit better. I will admit that I have my problems with controlling emotions all the time. I'm working every day to have more and more control over them. And more often I'm getting better at controlling my emotions and getting less salty. And I also think, you know, it is definitely a fact that if I get salty, it reduces the enjoyment of the stream, and my goal is always to make the stream as enjoyable as possible, so I should also apologize for getting salty, really. But thankfully it happens less often than it used to be. Back when I was having a shitty time in my life, when I was still in a relationship with my ex-girlfriend, I would get very salty almost every stream because I would be living under stress, which affects me. But now it's going well, so thankfully a lot better. Oh, I'm out of cola. No cola. Rip. Got no more cola. I guess one minor issue about this WAD is that so far all the maps, the aesthetic doesn't change very much. Which, you know, it's a very good looking aesthetic, this map set, so far. But it does feel a bit samey, like it takes, the variety isn't a lot there. Doesn't have much variety, but I am enjoying myself with this WAD a lot. It does look good. Like, I love shit like this. This looks amazing. Hello, imps. Oh. It's all good. PvP in games do me the same way sometimes. Broke a few mouses. You know, if you throw one hard enough, it will stick to the wall. I've thrown my mouse around a little bit, but not with like full force. But yeah, yeah, it is true. PvP can be very frustrating. I've had some shitty moments today actually where I got killed with one shot or something, but I'm starting to get better at just taking a breather. Be like, well, gotta accept it how it is, and you know, I mean, there'll always be cursing, but the saltiness is like, it's a thing when after the shitty thing happens, a person keeps being pissed off and annoyed. That's when a person is salty, because, you know, someone can get mad at a situation and curse, then the situation ends and it's like, okay, let's continue, and the person is happy again. But if the annoyance from that situation persists across the rest of the gameplay, that's when a person is salty, and it ruins the enjoyment from the next encounters, basically. I actually talked with my psychologist about controlling emotions, and it's all depending on how you handle your thought process. So I try my best to change my thought process. I can go sit there screaming and staying annoyed, but in the end it's no use to keep talking and thinking about something shitty that happened. I can be like, well, shit, I got killed, but in a moment we're gonna play another match, and then we're gonna do good again. And that really helps a person stay positive. You have a backup brand mouse just in case. Oh man, that's a luxury. I don't have a backup. When my mouse broke, my laser was like not working anymore, and I would like think there's like dust near the laser, so I would like put something in it to get the dust out, but I ended up damaging the laser thingy, and eventually my mouse didn't work anymore. I had to like borrow my brother's mouse to order a new mouse online. Wanted to apologize, so good. Yeah, I appreciate the apology. It's a very mature and friendly way to react, but it's definitely not needed. Like, I definitely think you didn't need to apologize in any way. So I'm glad that we're all so nice to each other. That's, I think, what makes this community great, is that there's a lot of awesome people like you who are all very mature and just are here to have a good time and are very kind to everyone here in the community. Because sometimes I see people in chat, some new people. Don't worry, Warman, I'm not talking about you if he's still here. He is not in the viewer list anymore, but some other people I've seen, and they're like sometimes a bit less mature and maybe whatever. But I can definitely see the difference when a person is a good asset to the community and be kind and mature to everyone. But yeah, I never really was mad at you or in any way. Definitely not. I was more mad at myself, I guess. And eventually it's also my fault. You know, we're all here to have fun, make fun jokes. And if I get pissed off, the jokes are suddenly a no-go, and that's my fault, honestly. So, you know. But I guess somewhere it should come naturally that when another person is annoyed, then I always want to be a bit more careful. And that's just how humans work. If a person is annoyed, he can get more triggered easily by things. So always when I see someone who's annoyed, I will just stay quiet and not say anything until that person is feeling comfortable again. Because I think most people, when they are annoyed, they just need they just need a breather. Uh-oh. It's not well. Yeah, World of Tanks has made me pissed off very often. It's, I guess, the record holder of the game that pissed me off the most. But it was worse years ago. And even my psychologist has helped me deal with things. I'm getting better and better at like not getting pissed off. Sometimes you do have a bad timing. I think today you got in as well, I think, but I wasn't salty at all today during World of Tanks. Thankfully. I think last night I wasn't salty either, but 2 nights ago I think I was. But yeah, I definitely, like, you know, like I said, I played this game for 8 years, World of Tanks, and I know that every single year, I'm slowly getting better and better at not getting salty as often. Like now, it maybe happens once a week. And maybe a year ago I would maybe get salty over World of Tanks every day. I remember having lots of days where I'd be salty. I've definitely gotten better at controlling my emotions. And I'm pretty proud of it, because controlling emotions is something that my whole family is bad at. I know my mother and brother, just like me, are all bad at controlling emotions. Runs in the family. So it's definitely a skill that I've been trying to get better at. And it's working a little bit, step by step. League of Legends. Yeah, I've seen some people be mad at that game. Especially in chat, but that's what like all, especially free-to-play PvP games. You can see so many other people raging. Even worse, like some people in chat type very nasty things. Like those are people who are even worse with getting assaulted. Like I've seen people in in-game chats say that I should get cancer and die. That's what some people have said. But that's the point where I'm like, even when I'm salty, I'm like, no, you should not wish cancer upon another person. Unless that person is really like equivalent of Hitler. But then at that moment when I read people say that I should get cancer or someone else, I'm like, dude, it's only a game, what are you even writing? I mean, calling someone stupid or an idiot is one thing, but wishing cancer upon a person is like a whole nother level of like, that's like fucked up. Yeah. Like, that's a serious topic. I'm like, I would genuinely not say anything like that. I will call certain moments and actions cancerous, but I will never say like, oh, this person should get cancer and die. That's not a thing that's like, it's like a something every person should like think seriously about what they're saying at that point. Oh, that's a lot of imps. No, it's like only in the game, of course, in the in-game chat. Never in the Twitch chat I've seen a person say something like that. I have seen people like bitch and whine about the way I play Doom. They come in my channel and they'll be like, "Oh, you're using mouse look. That you're stupid." Or whatever. They're not happy that I use mouse look. Ooh, I use mouse look. Ultimate fucking blasphemy and whatever. It's like, oh my god, you're gonna get triggered because someone uses mouse look in Doom, or because someone jumps in Doom or crawls. Like, wow. Oh, hello, Barons. Oh. But like, if a person does not like mouse look and does not enjoy seeing someone use mouse look in Doom, then he can just close my stream and go watch something else. But if they're honestly gonna type in the chat about how bad I am for using mouse look, I'm like really thinking that the person's stupid or something. Oh, there's a lot of cacos. This reminds me of Duke Nukem 3D. I mean, hell, you weren't even needed to leave. All I needed was just not something annoying for me at that moment to be said in chat. Yeah. It's just like, you know. But I was definitely not upset at you. It was just making me more upset about the game and the situation, but definitely never at you. I was never thinking like, oh man, Iceman, he's such a prick. No, that's not my thought process there. I'm just like, the annoyance of the moment is like, you know, that makes me think more about the situation, or I don't know. Or I'll be like, oh, you're pointing out that I'm annoyed. Well, good job, genius. That's, I guess, what I'd be thinking at that moment. Was like, yeah. Right now I'm thinking like, yeah, it's stupid of me that I was salty and I shouldn't have been salty over a fucking game. That's what I'm thinking right now. Yeah, I definitely couldn't need it, but yeah. In the end, I should just not get salty as much. Crap, it's getting close to 5 AM. It's getting light outside more and more often. More earlier and earlier. Let's see, where do we go? I'll talk about any subject that you'd like. Just this WAD, and only loaded my my custom face mod with it. But all the other assets are included in the WAD, in the level pack. The cool gloves, and yeah, the gloves. There's also a custom boss at the end, I heard. Hi there, Fermian. Do I plan on playing Sigil's deathmatch maps? Kind of. If I decide to host deathmatch nights again. I used to host deathmatch nights on Saturdays. But the problem is that eventually there were not enough people joining the stream to deathmatch with, so I was like sitting there on my own, one player in deathmatch, and I was like, well, this is embarrassing. I'm streaming a deathmatch night and no one's joining, and I was like, you know what? Let's stop doing that until we have enough people who are willing to consistently join. I have not even watched the deathmatch maps yet. I'm out back having a fire waiting to go from the fire. I hope it's the campfire you're gonna chill at. And not a dangerous fire. It's cool. No, like, I'd like to play deathmatch again as well. But it just needs to have enough people willing to join. Ah! No! Oh my god. Well, I fucked that up. Oof. Why not have the mods mute a person if they are rude as fuck? I mean, you mean in the Twitch chat here? I mean, if people are rude here in the Twitch chat, they just get banned by a moderator, yeah. But the only rude people I encounter are like when I play World of Tanks and it's in the in-game chat. But I mostly don't take them personally. Like, just a salty person messaging me. I sometimes have been salty messaging someone as well. I more often try to just be helpful when I think someone made a stupid decision. I'll send them messages with tips rather than insults. Unless they've been insulting me during the match. Ah, man, this is tough. Chaos. Oh, you mean like mute? Yeah. In the game I can mute people. I can just add them to a blacklist. I know Dying Camel would absolutely hate this, because I know Camel hates platforming and he hates Crushers, so this is the absolute amazing perfect combination for him. I bet he would absolutely hate this. But we're trying to make a pro run out of this. Ow. We fucking did it without saving. Uh-oh. Thank the Lord for the SSG, our Lord and Savior is the SSG itself. Oh my god, see now I can laugh about it. Which is a better emotion than getting mad, right? Fuck me. Ah! Revenants fucked me over. See, I go backward, I flinch backwards, which I shouldn't be doing. Rip. Oh, fuck me. Oh yeah, that's... Yeah, I could also do that. That's actually... God fucking damn it. Speedrun strats. Ow. Fuck my life. My nose is hurting. No, stop it, STRONKI. Why am I doing this? Fuck. Oof. Gonna totally recommend this mod to Camel. See, when I died here and lost all my progress, it's good that I managed to laugh about it instead of get angry. Which is good. That's a lot of chain gunner. VR, sadly no. I might get VR someday, but I think the technology is still too new to be worth investing a large sum of money in. Because I think in a few years it'll probably be a lot better. The VR capabilities. Hey there, Jimmy. But I don't like platforming over crushers. Fine for you to have that opinion. I think I prefer platforming over crushers. But it's fine if you prefer that. Hey, Caligon. This is a pretty nice one, definitely. I'm enjoying it a lot so far. Map 5. Have I tried VR? Not yet. I'd be willing to try it if I'd get the chance, but I'm definitely not investing into VR yet because I think that's gonna be like very expensive, and then I'll have a VR headset and probably within 5 years it might be very obsolete or something. I'll wait till it's like been more like when it's been a bit more cooked, just say, when VR is a bit more cooked, less raw. Beat of Doom soon, that is true. I have no clue. It's not a good idea to vomit on Twitch. Can get banned, but you will get banned for that. But fuck man, there's so many people coming over right now. I wanted to stop after this level, but since you all are all here, I'll play another level for you guys. Oh, that's imps. What does Caligon think about Sigil? Did you like it? I think it's meh. Oculus Quest, $400. You guys all have no taste. I absolutely love Sigil, but the only thing I can say is I wish you guys could have enjoyed it as much as I could. Sucks that you guys don't like it as much. You guys are gonna fucking hate me, but I gave it a 10 out of 10 because I absolutely loved it. a subjective 10 out of 10 though. I'm not saying it's a perfect WAD, I'm just saying that I loved to play it and that I had no issues with it. I gave Knee Deep in Zedum a 10 out of 10. But we all have our own weird opinions. I will admit that my score of Hell Revealed might be skewed because I was not good at Slaughter back when I played that. That's why I gave Hell Revealed 2 a better score. But I did not have any ammo issues. I got plenty of plasma and rockets later on to deal with all the barons. And Cacos, I didn't use that often. I killed some Cacos with plasma, definitely. But I had no ammo issues whatsoever. You find the secrets. Yeah, that might have... I did not go secret hunting. I did not try hard any secrets, but I would find the occasional secret. So that definitely helped me. I will admit to that. I did get help from secrets, so that can make my playthrough a bit easier with that. And of course not everyone's gonna be able to find the same secrets. Hell, I even found the secret exit without any help whatsoever. Not sure if anyone is weirded out by that, but without any help. I only knew like it's in this map, I looked a bit for it and eventually found it. Yeah, I can imagine with pistol starts it being a bigger problem. Alright, Iceman, you have a good time, man. Thank you for chilling. Hope you have an amazing night, man. Be good to your girl. I know you will. Well, I thankfully, I'd like to pistol start. Sometimes I think about that, like, hey, maybe I should try pistol starting, but I don't want to take the risk of running into a WAD that becomes shit because it's not designed for pistol starting in mind. Like, you run into ammo issues more often with pistol starts, so that's why this makes me decide, like, let's not. So a sigil is not considered an iWAD because it adds content to Doom 1, but Romero did design it as an iWAD, I would think. He designed it as episode 5 for Doom 1. And it feels like episode 5 of Doom 1. It genuinely feels like it. And I think if you don't think that it feels like episode 5 of Doom 1, then I think you need to buy glasses, but I don't know. I just think it nailed the feel of feeling like an absolute, like a legit sequel to episode 4. Get over here, you frickin' vile flame boy. Same category. It's episode 5. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what Fermion is saying. I'm already wearing glasses. Yeah, I agree completely. Like, some people, like, freaking G-Man lives this review, man. I love his content, but did not love his review. Like, it was comparing Sigil to Eve Eternity. It's like, what the fuck? He even said El Revealed was better, and I disagree on that. I disagree with that very strongly. Hell, he called Sigil grindy, yet Hell Revealed had some of the most fucking grindy maps I've ever played. I remember that one in the open map with like so many freaking Barons and Arachnotrons on weird positions that were tough, that were just grinding. It was like an open city-ish map. And Caligon is a Doom God. They're so different. Yeah, I always... I know about Caligon's taste. I will, I'm always happy when... It makes me happy when people have different opinions on WODs. Because I think that's a good thing. I'm only annoyed when people, you know, say that something is objectively shit without, you know, based on their opinions. I think people should always just make a difference between their opinion and the objective fact of a thing, right? Oh boy. I also watched Civi's video on Sigil. A bit more happy with his reaction to it. My ear is itchy. What's fun from a speedrunning perspective is often different compared to casual play. Yeah. And that's the cool thing about Doom. There's so many different places to watch it, to play it. Now watch it. Well, there's probably also different ways to watch it. You could watch it in your underwear, you could also watch it butt naked. You could also watch it while hanging from a tree, but... You know, everyone has their own way to play. And that's so cool about Doom, it offers so much variety. I like Icarus's video. I've not watched his video about it yet. I didn't know he had a video about it. But yeah, I think some of the level design is absolutely amazing in Sigil. Like some of the areas that link back to other areas. I really like the one where you start with a triple split path. And each area goes to a different, supposedly, key, but weirdly enough there's only one key, and the other two switches you don't need a key, but they all lead to the same area, which progresses the level. Like, I like that kind of shit. Because it clearly demonstrates the paths of the player. I also love the simple fact that Romero explains at the very beginning, the first room of the first map, that if you see the eyes, you gotta shoot them. It teaches the player that very simply. There are a lot of very cool things where I was like, yes, this is original thinking from a Doom level design perspective. It's like things I've not seen in the Cacowards before being done. Oh my. That was a bit fucked up. You monks. Monkabers. Find that trap a little bit questionable, but maybe there was a way to avoid it. Who knows? Maybe I just didn't see it. At least it's not a chain gun sandwich. That's the worst shit ever. Plural of mancubus is mancubi. Yeah, I agree with that. I'd normally, like, in a serious sentence, I would definitely refer to them as mancubi as well. But I think it is a funny thing to just say mancubuses, because then I think about buses with mancubus faces and weird things like that. It just sounds funny. But yeah, on a serious note, I would definitely refer to them as mancubi. Or I say Mernkabers, or monks, or monks, or manx. Lots of different ways. It's like revs, revenants, boners, skeleton warriors, agitated skeletons. Skeleton, skeletal, so many different things, nicknames and shit. Mancubodes. The evil eyes thing is great. I like that, yeah, especially because it came back in later levels, and it was also related to a important secret in one of the later maps, without really wanting to spoil much. Hello, Archivals, Flame Boys. Oh, that was a specter. Shit.
Here comes Flame Boy.
A double Flame Boy fight does have some RNG sometimes. This fight goes way easier than the previous one. Jeez, the hit scanners are more dangerous than the Flame Boy at this moment. See, now that was a nice, challenging fight. Maybe if we make weird noises enough, we can, like, reach the soul sphere. No, it doesn't work. Doom guy needs to extend his arms to reach more soul spheres. Yeah, if you start a player obviously stuck in a room, he will most likely start. He'll more easily find a shoot switch than just hiding it somewhere in the map. If you hide it somewhere else in the map, the player will be like well, where the fuck do I go? And they'll start backtracking and get lost. But if you trap a player, he'll be like, oh, well, maybe there's a shoot switch somewhere. Cacowards. Uh-oh. That was all planned. Wanted to kill them all in a row. As long as you have ammo. Definitely important. Well, unless you can also punch them, but you know, they've got to be in range. Might Evil Line Sigil, I get stuck doing it. That's not good. Assuming you mean soft locked. I think I did punch one of them. But I never got soft locked, thankfully. Oh god, no. That was almost a lost soul death. I can't wait to get my physical copy of Sigil. I don't even know what goodies are in it. Honestly, I ordered the box, and I don't even know what's with it. I know it's goodies and shit, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, give me that shit. That comes on the USB stick. But I don't know what kind. Now it comes with some other shit, but I have no clue what. I just ordered it because John Romero, and I trusted in him, and I'm happy that I enjoyed his watch. I think it's like, if I would have found the watch shitty, I would be disappointed and I would not be as happy with the goodies. But since I love the watch, I'm like, yeah, give me the Sigil goodies because I love the watch. I'll show it on stream as soon as I get it. I hope he doesn't change any enemy encounters. I hope the fixes are only like the soft lock issues. Encounters I think are all fine. The only thing I would maybe accept would probably be if maybe some rooms, like there was one room that was maybe a little bit too dark, but I accepted it. Merkabers. Yeah, I switched to software, but still one of the room, like I managed to get through most of the dark rooms, but there was just this one room, I don't remember, it was I think one of the later maps, that was like, I managed, but I was like, huh, that could have maybe been a bit better if it was a little bit brighter, but not a major complaint. I still thought like, well, it's fine. Ugh, give me up. Give me armor. That's imp. Ugh. Not the most satisfying thing. One of the most satisfying things is in Doom. Killing an Arachnotron with an SSG. It's one of the most satisfying things to do. I have no clue what that does. Flashlight mechanic had it for advanced ports. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna go back and activate that again. Oh, that was the exit. It's getting light behind me. It's 5:32 AM over here. This is a pretty fucking good WAD so far. I like it. Play this again soon. It's good shit. Very, very good shit. And I hear like the frickin' birds and shit outside. I'm gonna host someone who I haven't hosted in a while. You guys probably know Mega Blast, right? Yeah, you knew. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Of course you do. He is playing, I think, Golden Souls 2. Oh, when I saw the gameplay, because now I'm watching the ad, it didn't look like Golden Souls 2. Well, yeah, I think he is playing Golden Souls 2. I'm gonna play that eventually someday. But, you guys are fucking awesome. I appreciate all of you coming over. And, I guess, sorry for not always streaming Doom, because I know that more people check out my stream when I play Doom, because I'm mostly known for playing Doom, and if I don't play Doom, people don't watch me as often, but that's fine. I still appreciate you guys coming over. It's been a great night, and I should go get to bed very soon because it's way too late. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll be online again tomorrow. You guys stay awesome, have a good night of sleep, and hopefully see you guys soon. Have a good weekend.